Hello, I'm making a short video for the benefit of the guys at BikeInn. I recently bought some tyres and a number of other things actually, but the reason I'm making the video is these challenge tyres. There's a spec, they're Strada 27mm. They look really nice. They're 27mm, they've got a traditional sort of tan coloured wall, and they're that nice golden colour, not like the Continentals that are just sort of look like they're painted cream. They're really nice. Well, they look really nice, I should say. 27mm, they go on the rims very, very easily, and they've got a really nice profile. Okay, so the reason that I'm making the video is I've had some issues with these tyres. I've actually had them blow off of 3 separate rims, and obviously that's quite a worry. So I'm not anticipating that happening right away here, but the reason I'm doing this is because I'm not getting much response off of BikeInn, which is really quite disappointing. I put these tyres on a brand new pair of 50mm carbon wheels. So I had all brand new tyres, brand new tubes, brand new TPU tubes, and brand new wheels. And they looked absolutely fantastic on there. They were really, it looked like a really good setup. However, didn't quite work out because whilst I was riding, the tyre blew off the front wheel, which obviously is worryingly dangerous. It doesn't bear thinking about how serious that could be a front tyre, because the issue is with a tyre popping off the rim rather than a puncture or a sort of blowout of a tub, is that you immediately have zero air. And not only do you have zero air, you are immediately riding on a rim, you're immediately riding on either bare alloy or bare carbon. So there is nothing to grip with. If that happens on a descent, on a roundabout, in heavy traffic, or in a bunch, or on a hard corner, on a descent, etc., the consequences obviously could be absolutely catastrophic. Like, it just doesn't bear thinking about quite how serious that could be. So to show you how easy it is to fit these tyres, there's no tyre lever or anything at all required, so they just lift over. I just think they're too big. Anyway, BikeInn haven't really listened to me at all, so I just checked that there's no kind of tube pinched underneath. No, that's all good. So, as I said, it came off a front carbon wheel, which has scuffed it all up to Billy-O. I've had 3 of these TPU tubes completely destroyed. This is the 4th one. I bought a pack of 4. Well, I didn't buy a pack. I bought 4 separate TPU inner tubes, and this is where we are. So that's like 20 psi, just to show you that it's on straight. See, you can see by the black around the base that the tyre is uniformly fitted on the hook. A little bit there. Yeah, it's nicely seated. Disappointed with the wheels, actually. They're not as true as... I've had lots of Campag wheels over the years, and they've always been absolutely perfect true. But these aren't. Anyway, I certainly don't think it's the wheel's fault that this has happened. The carbon wheels that this happened on were hooked. And it happened on the front whilst I was riding, causing the damage, obviously, to the tube and the wheel. It happened on the rear when my bike was just sat in the kitchen. And I tested it on one of these, thinking maybe the wheel doesn't have a big enough hook. I contacted the wheel manufacturer at the same time I contacted BikeInn. They've already begun an investigation on their construction line, which I think is very admirable, even though I've since established that it is entirely the tyres to blame, not the wheels. And I established that by putting them on to a Zonda. It was, well, it was this one, in fact, or its partner, the rear one. It's a brand new pair of Zonda. They've never been ridden. They've never even been braked on. They've never even been put into a bike. So these are absolutely brand spanking new wheels. They're alloy C17 622 rims, and they are brand new. They're hooked, and they're big hooks as well on these. They're proper, these are Zondas. They're kind of like the bulletproof industry standard fast training wheel, I would say. So anyway, well, I'd say fast training wheel. They're good wheels. These aren't particularly true. Like I said, I'm disappointed. Makes me almost think that BikeInn might sell seconds. I'm not sure. Some of their prices are randomly very cheap, yet other prices are sort of very similar to everybody else. Anyway, the reason for the video about the tyres is because they just don't seem to be taking it seriously. Now, my concern is that one of these tyres is going to blow off a rim and somebody's going to get killed. And I know that can sound like I'm trying to blow things out of proportion, but I sincerely am concerned about that. And I think that this should be taken seriously. Secondly, and probably, well, less important to somebody getting killed, but certainly important, my brand new carbon wheel's been damaged. These TPU tubes that I've spent a lot of money on have been damaged. And although that's all been referenced in my multiple contacts with BikeInn, they just keep referring me to FAQ and to check your dialogue box in my account. And I genuinely think that this issue is something that needs to be addressed directly and on an individual basis. It's not something that should be passed off to an FAQ. I really want somebody from BikeInn, and yeah, I'm talking about BikeInn like it's in the third person. I'm making this video to send to BikeInn. So you guys, whoever watches this, please take seriously what I'm trying to get across here. I've ruined my wheel. I don't know if I've already said this, but I think I've said it in one of my messages maybe. I think the equivalent pair of wheels is probably the Bora WTOs that you have, the 45mm ones. That's probably the closest you sell of a likeness to mine that have been damaged. And with carbon, you can't take any chances. I've ridden on the brake track now, so with no tyre at all, because it totally flew off the rim. And it's not just the cosmetic damage that I sent you in the photographs. It's the fact that there could be invisible fractures, and now that is the case on that rim, even if I put a really tight tyre on, the rim track, the rim bed could break off at any moment. So those rims are now, and it's happened on the rear as well, although I wasn't riding, but those rims are now compromised. So ultimately I need to buy a new pair of wheels, and I've asked for your thoughts on this and had no response. So anyway, so at the moment, what have we got? Oh, there's 20 psi in there, so nothing. But I'm going to pop the camera down here and I'm going to pump the tyre up. Now obviously I don't want this to be the case. You know, I wanted all of this to be working and me to be out on my bike today. It's a beautiful day outside. Anyway, let's see what we've got. So, okay, that's 30 psi, 40 psi, 50 psi. Right, okay, so you can see there, this is what happens. So that is what happened, exactly that. So you end up riding on this bare edge. So it's my concern that this is going to happen to somebody on the road, on a mountain descent, on a roundabout. Look, it just comes off the whole way around the wheel, but once it's off that one side. Okay, so there you go. That's what happened to me whilst I was riding. Now, how you can not take that seriously, I honestly don't know. That's what happened to me. Obviously, well, there you go. That's 4 TPU inner tubes now.